And this is one of a series of paintings that I did. Well, just as an introduction, I'm Gerdes. I'm a watercolor artist, and I paint the island of Mauritius. And it's such a stunning island with such beautiful places. You can drive anywhere to the beach and you see these azure blue or turquoise blue waters and beautiful beaches. One morning we were driving out early in the morning and we saw these Hindu worshippers doing their thing and offering some offerings, and you'll hear more about it in the video. And I took some photos and made a painting from it, and have fun watching it, and please give me some feedback and don't forget to subscribe.
It was early morning and we set off to the beach called Sarees. The reason why we picked that beach out was because there was a small temple right on the sea, and this is a place where a lot of Hindu people congregate on this specific day called Ganges Snan. That's their festival. And so I took my camera, also took the 300mm lens so that I don't disturb the people, and then we asked permission the day before if it's offensive for us to take photos. They said no, it's fine. And you can see the series of photos that I took, and I used a bit of a color filter so the photos might be more colorful, but it is very colorful, I can tell you that, because the women wear their fancy sarees, and then it looks like each family goes out and they make an offering and a prayer on the beach, and some water is being offered, and coconuts, and flowers, and incense. And this festival is a festival where people celebrate the Ganga river. The river goddess Ganga, river goddess Ganga is being worshipped here, and people believe that bathing in Ganga bestows blessings of the highest order. So here in Mauritius they believe that because the river Ganga flows out into the sea, and that the sea is also part of the river Ganga, and so Hindus associate the river as an imagery of crossing from the worlds of common mortals, the world of ignorance. This is the place of ignorance, to the world of enlightenment. So the world out there, the new sort of heavenly world, is the world of enlightenment, and rivers metaphorically represent a state of transition for the soul. Ganga Henge is also worshipped as a great purifier. By taking a dip in the sea, the pilgrim symbolically drowns his old self and is born anew, fresh and enlightened. It's almost like a baptism. So on this specific day, we were so fortunate. It was low tide, and it was a beautiful morning, early November. We arrived at the beach before sunrise because most of the festivities take place at sunrise, and I took this series of photos, and so I've made a couple of paintings already which have been very well received, and this is one of the ones that I think is quite successful because I've got this beautiful reflections in the water, and I was fortunate because the early morning light came through from the back, and it cast these incredible reflections in the water, and it's just so stunning. I used a 400 gram paper, first time that I used a thick paper like that, and this paper is super absorbent, but if you add enough water then you can really play around and it takes a while to dry. It's actually quite interesting. I bought this paper here in Mauritius at Art World, and I thought I would give it a try. And the only problem is if you put some paint on where you don't want it, then the paint is immediately taken up into the paper, and it sits there, and you can't remove it. You cannot lift off that paint. So you've got to work very careful and very slow, and you've got to have patience when you do this. I tried to, or I didn't try, I kept white on the edges of the paper because I'm going to frame this on a white frame with a white backing, and I wanted to just blend in on the sides. So it took me about 3 days to paint this. First day I did the drawing, and then I started painting, and I won't say it's 3 full days, but it's almost 3 full days. So it takes time to do a painting like this. I admire people who can sit and do a watercolor in one sitting. With me it's not the case, I really enjoyed painting this because of the bright colors of the worshippers that went out there. I don't know what the family relationship is there, if it's a grand of a mother with her 2 daughters. But oftentimes I see complete families going down to the beach, and so the husband would be just in a jean and a t-shirt, and the women usually have the fancy sari on, and they are really so colorful and beautiful, and with the ocean in the background, it makes for some really nice footage. So I hope you have enjoyed this painting, and I have just started with my Patreon page. So the strategy is like this. When I start a new painting, I will have progress reports on the painting. When I go out to a place to take photos, I will upload my photos to Patreon. Patreon is a platform where you can support me as an artist for a small amount of $3. You'll get a load of value. You'll get so much information every month on art material, what type of paint I use, what type of brushes I use, the whole painting process of thinking out a painting, about the perspective, about the composition, the use of watercolor paints. I also play around with other paints as well. It's not just watercolor, but this is a watercolor painting, and I really encourage you to go to Patreon and to join my tier. The tier is only $3, and for this you'll really get good value for money, and I'll really appreciate it if you do that. So the website address is www.patreon. Patreon is spelled patreon.com, and then /Gerdus Bron. Gerdus Bron is GERDUSBRONN. And you'll land up on my page and browse around there, and I will then be notified once you become a patron, and you will have access to exclusive material that nobody else anywhere on the internet has access to. Thank you for that, and have a nice day, and God bless.